All right, here we go. Quick little freestyle, kind of
Mhm.
catch up on the week.
Yep.
Um, so proud of our baby for his birthday. Uh,
He is 7 today.
he is 7 today, and his birthday party was last week, and he did so good.
Oh my gosh. All the
Compa
feels.
Yeah,
All the
all the
feels.
feels, and
All the
it
feels.
it was a large birthday party too, with
Yeah.
a lot of noise and a lot of people.
Yeah.
And for an autistic kid, he's come a very, very long way. I'm so proud of him. Uh, if you can imagine, it's a place called Safari Adventure.
Mhm.
And so there's just people running around all over the place. And then,
What's up, Kenneth?
hey, Kenneth. And then there were like 5 different birthday parties all happening at the same time. And
There's arcade, there's music,
yeah,
there's
super loud, so loud in
yeah,
there.
kids running around, families, parties, and it's a lot. It's a lot for adults,
And
you
he
know?
had at least 20 people between adults and kids on every area of the spectrum,
Mhm.
right? So
Mhm.
he's got his little his because Fernando's also on the spectrum, and then there's a couple of kids that English isn't their second language.
Mhm.
Hey guys, hey Lynn, hey Jody Lynn.
Hey.
And he navigated it so well, spoke with mostly eye contact,
Mhm.
was running around trying his little broken Spanish that he knows.
Yeah.
Um, and just he was able just to hang out with all of them, even the adults, and he did it well. The noise didn't seem to bother him. Yeah, so proud. Such a little win and such a big turnaround from last year where he didn't even know who the people were that were there for him.
Yeah, yeah, and I feel like that the older he gets, the less noise bothers him in most places. The hand dryers he still does not like, and we do not, um, we have to
Navigate bathrooms.
navigate the
Yeah.
bathrooms, and we need to like he will go in, look around the corner, see if there is one, and obviously in every bathroom the hand dryer is directly next to
The door.
the
Yeah.
sink, which it should be, but for him, it's like there's the sink, and then in order to get to the paper towels, you have to go past the hand dryer. So for him, one thing that he's really working on a lot is getting the courage to even just walk past them. So even if he just goes up, washes his hands, and walks past it, he's really, really been growing and thriving with that because there were times that he wouldn't even go into the bathroom. Like I pretty much had to pick him up and bring him into the bathroom because I needed to go to the bathroom and he needed to go to the bathroom. So I would have to walk him in, by picking him up. But now he is starting to at least just go into the bathroom knowing that he doesn't like it and still says like, "Mommy, I don't want to do that." And I'll still ask him,
Yeah.
you know, "Do
Well,
you
even
want me to dry my hands with a hand dryer?" And sometimes he has. So what he'll do is in certain bathrooms, he can get a safe amount of distance away from me, and he'll be like, "Go ahead, mommy, you can use the hand dryer." So that's a huge win for him because before, the
yeah.
minute that even if we were in the stall and he going to the bathroom.
Well, last year at the birthday party, he stood by us the entire time.
Mhm.
Like he would go play on something and come back and it was too loud and he would just stand by us the whole time. And this year he was playing video games with his friends and going to the bathroom by himself and helping his friends out with certain things and games. And
Yeah.
even his friend Fernando,
Mhm.
who's on the spectrum as well, and his thing, he had behaviors. Like that kid would have
Mhm.
severe behaviors.
Mhm.
Um, he was even able to make Fernando comfortable
Mhm.
and just play with Fernando and, take Fernando around the place, show him around the place and play with him. So,
Yeah. Well, Garrett, just a little backstory. He used to elope, and if anybody doesn't know what elope means, it means that he would run. He was a runner.
yeah, he was a
He,
big
he
runner.
was a big
Yeah.
runner, especially when he was younger. The older that he has gotten, the less he doesn't run anymore. He doesn't elope anymore. And but that was always something that we had to navigate because he was eloping. We wouldn't let him leave us. You know what I mean? Like, we would always be with him, and we would make sure that we kept him close. So I think that that was also part of it why he would stay with us so well, because we worked really hard to keep him safe with us. But now he is navigating social situations and being able to go and lean with his peers and other adults that we trust and know. That's obviously something big for us too, is trusting him with other adults that we trust, and in situations and in scenarios like that. Years ago, I wouldn't. I would be like, I'm gonna stand with him. I'm gonna go into everything with him. And but now it's always like, okay, who's got him?
Yeah.
Like, I stayed in the party room and was getting the party room ready, and you were out with him, or if he wasn't directly with you,
I think
he was.
we're less fearful now. We let him we let him go do his own things. So I think that I joke because Jody Lynn asked, as a result of therapies or just maturity. I think it's a combination of just all of us working on it. I think it's us being less fearful and just knowing like, hey, I have an eye on he's a, like I just have an eye on him like I would have an eye on any other kid.
Mhm,
You know what I mean? And I don't try to shield him from absolutely everything. Like, yeah, obviously I'm protective and whatnot, but I let him kind of navigate his way out of situations now. I let him, you know, the number one thing I would say, out of therapies, we worked with a lot of people. We got a lot of help from people for us too, as well. Wasn't just therapy for him. It
mhm,
was for us as well to be able to
mhm.
help him with things.
Yeah.
But his nursery school was awful. Like I can't even tell you how awful his nursery school was for us. So much so where we were literally I think we pulled him out at the end because it was just like
He was
we
supposed to be there for, like, another 2.5 weeks, and we looked at each other, I was like, "I can't do this anymore, like, I'm done."
yeah, it was they never gave him boundaries. It was a school that said like, "Hey, we can't tell your child no."
Mhm.
And it's like, "What do you mean you can't tell a 4-year-old no? You have to tell a 4-year-old no."
Yeah, he would,
Why do you think he's eloping? Like,
mhm.
because he can,
Yeah.
because you're allowing him to elope.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
it was insane.
And it almost felt like the more we engaged, the more that we were present, the more that we would advocate for him and try to have open conversations and communication with his teachers and his specialists and therapists and directors and everybody in that school. Like, the more that we had conversations, the less boundaries, even if there were any, if there were possibly any before, um,
They were just
they
telling
they
us to
just
come pick up our kid.
they just threw their hands up.
Yeah,
And it
and,
was like, if
like, "Your
he
kid's bad.
yeah,
Come pick your kid
I
up."
was getting phone calls every single day telling me that my kid is a bad kid. And then I would pick him up from school, and I would be on the stairs talking to his teacher and have a 20-minute conversation about how he's a bad kid. But certain things too, he would walk outside in his socks. Why doesn't he have his shoes on?
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't want to wear them.
What
I'm
do you
sorry.
what do you mean?
I'm sorry. He has never done that with us. And that was always we understand that when he's in school, there is obviously that narrative where kids act differently in school than they do at home. We obviously know that he would act differently with me with some things
Than
than
he
with
does with
you.
me. Yeah, of
Like,
course. Yeah.
that's it, just is what it is. Growing up, you could tell him no one time and he would listen to you. Me, not so much. But that was more of a me thing. I needed to figure out what that was. I needed to find my mom voice and my confidence in my voice and be able to be okay with the fact that I'm going to tell him no, and he's going to get upset with me and he's going to get mad and he might have a temper tantrum and whatever. I'm not a bad mom.
Right.
That was what I needed to work on. And when I did that, then I'm able to look at him now. No means no.
Yeah.
He still doesn't like it. He's older now, and he asked why, and we'll have a little bit of a conversation. But at the end of the day, no means no. And I said no, So
Yeah, those teachers were yeah, it's a state-funded school.
yeah.
Their paycheck depends on how many kids are in every class.
Hmm.
So, of course, they're gonna do whatever the kid wants
Yep.
and, whatever to try to make the parents happy, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
But as soon as he got into kindergarten, I mean,
I mean, we attest that to his kindergarten teacher.
yeah,
And I
he
say it all the time. When you have good teachers and people that are willing to support him and push him, and trust too. We had a lot of trust in his kindergarten teacher. We did not have trust in his preschool teachers.
yeah,
Once he started being shifted around a lot. That was also something we experienced too, is that there was no structure. There was
They just kept moving him from class to class to class.
therapist to
Yeah.
therapist. All of a sudden, I'm getting a message that, hi, Miss Clinton, my name is so and so. I'm Garrett's speech. I'm sorry. Where's the other one? Oh, she left. She's, and then he has this one for 2 weeks, and then there's a new one, and and getting the conversation or getting the phone calls about like he needs to learn how to regulate and he needs to understand and he needs to just. You're asking a kid to figure it out when there's constant change.
Yeah.
There's constant change. And you already know that one of the things that Garrett used to struggle with the most is the fact that he did not do well when his routine changed
Sure.
when he was younger.
Yeah, Jody, he did. He totally saw on ESPN that UConn won. He was super excited about that. So yeah, that shirt almost is not.
He wears it all the time.
Yeah.
But it's getting small.
Yeah. I mean, just a couple months and he's almost out of that shirt, but he got the money's worth out of that shirt for sure.
Yeah, I found that it was a random find. I was so happy I found it. He had his matching shoes and had his whole Sonic Get Up outfit on for his birthday. He loved it. So, but it's one of those things, like if I went to actually look for it, I'd never find it. But it was one of those really cool finds that I got.
Ooh, sorry. So now we're gonna have to hide the UConn shirt so that he kind of doesn't realize it's missing, because otherwise he's gonna have a panic attack about it.
Yeah.
So once it really becomes a crop top, we'll have to just pretend like it's like, baby, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he had a great birthday weekend, thrived, saw him be stronger than he's been in a long time. He's grown up so much. So 7 years old. And like I said, he's got so many friends that are on different ends of the spectrum, like kids that are completely nonverbal, kids that have behaviors, kids that, don't make eye contact, all the different things, kids that can't sit down, like they literally just can't sit down. They just have to move the whole time. So, and thankfully, he's learning how to interact with everybody and just be okay in every situation. We're getting there. Also, too, we had a milestone a week ago where he had to pee while we were in the car. So we pulled over and he peed outside, and he just, I mean, it was such a win for him.
He did.
Like,
he was so proud
that now every time
it's a routine.
We pass that spot, he's like, Mom, I gotta pee. I'm like, no, you don't. You're proud of yourself. I get it, kid. I'm proud of you too, but you don't have to pee outside everywhere.
Oh, he wants to.
But now he wants to pee outside everywhere. So
yeah, he does.
It was really cool.
Yeah. I mean, we're still navigating, social settings and appropriate social settings. And, that is something that, hope he doesn't pee into the wind. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah. We're still navigating social situations with him. Yeah, for sure.
And what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. And he is so trusting and he's so social now. And, that was one of the things that we were worried about when he was younger. Like, was he going to be social? Was he going to make friends? How was he going to start to socialize with his peers? Because for a long time, he wouldn't socialize with his peers. He would socialize with adults, but also too, growing up in COVID and all that type of stuff. Like,
he was only around adults.
With us.
Yeah.
He wasn't really around peers his own age. And, also dealing with his eloping and behaviors when he was younger, I kind of stopped taking him to social situations because I was navigating and trying to figure out how to do it and try to, because you have the judgment, you have people staring at you. Like, why, we're supposed to be sitting down and listening to a book and my kid wants to run around the room.
Yeah.
And I also didn't want to be disruptive to his peers and the other moms that are there and all the kids that are there and that kind of stuff. And so I had to go through that stuff and I stopped taking him, because I would take him when like you were at work. And I mean, we would socialize him with young kids when, family functions and, couple play dates and with friends that had kids, all different ages and stuff like that. But it was for a while that I didn't really bring him around other kids because
it was a big learning lesson for us too. You know what I mean? Not to be afraid, not to try to shield him from everything. So we had to do our own growing as well.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, for 100%. Sure.
100%. If I didn't take care of my shit and deal with my shit.
We know parents who won't take their kids outside because they're afraid of whatever social ridicule they're going to get. Or, our kid is apparently 7 years old, you're supposed to be cool already and wear Nike backpacks. And well, our kid doesn't like that. He likes Bluey and he likes Sonic, and he doesn't care what shoes he has or what's on YouTube. Like he just
He doesn't care.
He does not care.
No, everybody's asking, like all of his friends have either iPhones already or
Yeah.
they have hi.
Hey. Oh, Nanny's in the house.
What's up, Nanny? I can't wait to see you in a couple
a couple weeks.
Couple weeks. Yeah.
So yeah,
But
he
yeah,
doesn't know what's cool or not, and he does not care what's cool or not, and he's also he likes what he likes.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's a kid that likes to do what he likes to do. And there are times that, as his mom, like I pick him up, he does like after school stuff and gonna start playing sports. And as his mom, I wanna
he's gonna start
in.
flag football. He really wants flag football right now. So he's gonna
play,
start flag football
and soccer
coming up this.
But listening to him interact with his peers, sometimes as his mom, like I want to like jump into the conversation, but at the same time, he has to learn to navigate it. And as long as nobody's being overly mean or putting their hands on each other or anything like that. Like I picked him up the other day and a kid was like, hey, give me the basketball. And Garrett threw it to a different kid and the kid got mad. And I was like, well, that's going to be something that he's just going to have to navigate when he's meeting and playing with his peers and, that kind of stuff. And so it's learning how to allow him to grow and gain his independence, because again, at the end of the day, yeah, he's a child, but we're raising him to be an adult.
Yeah.
And our goal always is for him to be a good, nice, kind, independent adult. And so you have to give him that space to do it. And, one of the things when you were talking to Sevon was he obviously is more confident in allowing his boys to talk to adults. And I'm in that growing phase of like, how do you do it and how do you navigate it? And so hearing other adults say like, this is what works and this is what doesn't work and try this and this is what I do, I think is kind of where we're at right now of teaching him safety, number one, first and foremost, but also allowing him to have conversations with his peers and with adults. So,
well, the easiest way for us to do it is for me to just let him sit up front in the deli and he talks to everybody in it, and it's so cute and it's funny, and the adults either understand what he's trying to say or they don't.
Yeah.
And I let them figure it out and I let him have his own interactions, and he just always says, "Thank you for coming. Bye-bye." Yeah. So whether they understood what he was trying to have a conversation about or not, he's going to figure out how it works. And but
yeah, and I think that that's the best place to do it, because there is that sense. The number one thing when it comes to social settings and social situations with him that we're really working on is that personal space boundaries kind of interaction. With you, there's a separation. There is no way that he's going to end up in someone's personal space unless that adult leans over. But then obviously, like,
I'm right there.
You're right there. At the gym or other places, like, he'll
just jump in people's laps.
He's just in people's spaces and leaning on them and whatever. And I know that that's part of being seen.
It's part of his stimming too.
His sensory, all the type of stuff and whatever. But it's also talking to him about, okay, you just met this person. And so we have a list, and I appreciate social stories. I don't know if you guys know about social stories, but his therapists and his counselors and all of his teachers, they create social stories and send them home so that we can read it to him to help him in social situations. So it's an entire book about how do you interact and say hello to somebody that you do not know.
Yeah.
And it gives them, you can wave. That's one way to do it. How do you say hello to like a friend? You could fist bump, you can high five, you can wave. And then how do you say hello to family? How do you say hello to your moms? And those kind of things to teach him that what's appropriate. And the other day he was like, hey, I can wave at that friend. I was like, absolutely, you can wave at that friend and say hello. And so it's like those type of things are really, really helpful.
He's getting there. So proud. It was a great weekend for that.
I can't believe he's 7.
I know. In all the feels. But what did we see this week? I wanted to touch on this because this is just this is just funny. And then I'll give my thoughts about it because I had to think about it a lot. It took me a second to figure out how I felt about this, but okay.
Oh, this is the one I sent you.
Yeah.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I'm not saying Michael Jordan's a perfect man, but he would
never.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
I don't want to know what a Diddy party is. I've never wanted to know what a Diddy party is. He's had multiple, if you will, white parties in the Hamptons, many a time. Dude, okay, so I know, here's my thoughts on this. So I know that there's no charges brought. I know that there's no, he settled some lawsuits. That's the only thing that happened. I know that
Over the years you're talking about, or recently?
no, recently.
Oh,
There's,
okay.
you know, his sons got handcuffed for a little while. They're fine. I know that. But all the time we're talking about and saying like, hey, if you put yourself in weird, like take personal responsibility, right? If you're out at a time where you shouldn't be out, we're telling women all the time, hey, don't put yourself in these situations. Hey, it's never your fault. You didn't ask for it, whatever. Don't put yourselves in situations where it could be a he said, she said, whatever. So for these multi-millionaire freaking dudes that are out there with everything in the world to lose, their reputations, their money, you're out there with all this to lose, and you're putting yourselves in situations where there's all kinds of drugs, naked women, young kids, whatever. And then you want us to defend you later. Well, I can't. You're bad, my man. Like there's a bunch of dudes out there who are multi-millionaires that don't put themselves in those situations
Multiple times.
You know what I mean? I don't know if
multiple times, not just one time. Oh shit, something happened. Too much drugs, too much alcohol, like blah, 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 blah. Multiple times.
It's there's so many people. I mean, as much as like I'm not the biggest LeBron James fan, there's no accusations out there about him. There's no Michael Jordan accusations. There's no, anybody else accusations. Sorry. If there's video proof or not video proof or whatever, you put yourself in enough situations that now there's, freaking Homeland Security's at your house, all your houses.
Yeah. And I also think that it goes back to how much money you have and how untouchable you feel, because that's how all of this shit happens for so long, is that there's so much money. There's so much money. And so they just keep doing what they want to do, and they feel like they're untouchable. I mean, how many stories do you hear about how awful they are in real life, how entitled they are in real life, how they walk into a room and they berate every single person that's there simply to help them, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a mall, whether it's at this or whether it's at that. Like, you want to go into places like I also understand too, you chose to be as famous as you are.
You worked really hard.
You
all the
worked
kudos.
really hard to get who you are. Yep. Yes. To get noticed, to be as big as you are and make as much money as you do.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Jay-Z he was sleeping with somebody else. He cheated on his wife, blah, blah, blah. Fine. That was the only thing that came out.
Fuck,
whatever.
And she made an
Russell
album.
Simmons.
She made an album on it and made billions of dollars.
Sure.
Fine.
Russell Simmons, he's hiding in some island somewhere because all of these accusations came out. It's never been proven. There's no video evidence. There's no whatever, but he is out hanging on some island that he can't be brought back to the United States. So to me, if you're a multimillionaire, if you put yourself in a situation to have multiple people come out and be like, hey, that's the same thing as telling girls not to go out and put themselves in a situation where they could be taken advantage of, or
you can't be mad.
Whatever.
Yeah. You can't be mad that people make money off of snapping pictures of you. You can't be mad at people for making money off of following you in cars. You can't be mad at people.
You got 20 women in your house and 2 of them come out and say that you raped them because you were having like a cocaine filled orgy party, and instead of just them, you know what I mean? You put yourself in that position. You set yourself up for that. So you know what I mean? I'm sorry. Like, you put your reputation at risk, you put your money at risk, you put your your whoever you're dating, your baby mama, like, you
Mhm.
put everybody at risk. Now
Yeah.
your kids are at risk.
Every choice is
Yeah. So,
you make the choice.
Jada Pinkett, yeah, Jada Pinkett Smith was, she's weird. She is very weird. It didn't do anything to hurt. I mean, if anything, they just made more money off of it.
I mean, that was.
It was great PR for them for that book
know
or
you keep
whatever.
saying
Like,
that,
I
but
know.
I
I feel
don't-
like they did it on purpose. I really do.
Listen, that's a pretty shitty way to make
I
a lot of
know.
money, though.
I still feel like,
I mean, I could never
Nah.
go on a public platform if we were that big.
but my man's laughing to the bank right now because his wife just made whatever.
Listen, I guess if that's what you wanted to do or whatever, but for somebody that loves you, like, I could never go on a platform and completely embarrass the fuck out of you the way that she did.
Yeah,
And-
but he went
Ugh.
on the round or
Mm.
red table, round
Nope.
table, whatever he went on. He went on there and did the
Nope.
whole crying.
All
He
right,
did
well,
it. So, but yeah, that's my
not
thought.
my movie.
That's my thoughts on Diddy. Sure, I have no idea whether he did it or didn't do it. It's looking creepy as hell. But
But they all are.
also too, take responsibility for the fact that, like, yeah, Kenneth, you bought the cocaine, dude. You bought the cocaine, you brought it to the house,
Yep.
you gave it to everybody.
Yeah.
Whether you knew or didn't know there were underage people in your house, whether everything was consensual or not, you put yourself in a position to end up did he or didn't he? Yeah, that's and then no Diddy, no doubt. Like,
Oh, geez,
yeah,
that's
the other
bad.
one going around.
But also the thing is too is, and I know we've had this conversation about Instagram and that kind of stuff and social media and all this type of stuff. You choose to allow people into your life.
Yeah.
The more that you choose to post or be on a platform like we are now and have the conversation and share all that you do, you are welcoming people into your personal space. So you cannot be mad at somebody for having opinions about what you choose to share. When you are in the limelight and you choose to get into Hollywood or music or all this type of stuff, you are choosing to dive into the chaos. You are. What story have you heard that there isn't some sort of shitty, crazy, weird type of shit that goes on?
Yeah, they're all weird.
It's
What's
all
he
weird.
supposed to have done? I mean, the whole the major thing is, if it's true, which I obviously nobody knows yet, but the major thing is that he was like, he had Bieber at his house. That was the other weird one.
Did you hear Bieber's new song?
Oh God, are they? Oh, well, anyway, he made all these videos where he had Bieber at his house and he's like, I have control over Bieber. I'm his guardian for when Bieber was like 15. I
Mhm.
have guardianship over him for the next 36 hours or whatever. That's just weird, dude. Like, why do you have that? Why do you have guardianship over a 15-year-old who, you know what I mean, who's from Canada? And there's just some weird shit with Usher when Usher was little, Bieber when Bieber was little. There's just some there's another one, I think Meek Mill, but Meek Mill when he was little, like when Meek Mill first came out.
Yeah, so I don't know if they're gonna,
but
it's only a couple seconds. Oh, we can't play it.
Caleb is Colleen right now. I don't know if we can play the song, but yeah, that's pretty much. And then there's some cocaine issues with women who say that they were abused or
All right, well, hold on.
whatever.
This is a reel, so let me just.
But yeah, so I don't know. To me, where there's smoke, there's fire. You got your sound on?
Earth never walking the same side of paper, so he never has to ever say sorry. Lost myself at a Diddy party.
Oh shit!
Party, didn't know that's how it goes. I was in it for a new Ferrari, but it cost me way more than my soul. Wasn't worth all the fortune and fame. Oh, the girls never walking the same side of paper, so he never has to ever say sorry.
Oh, that's tough, bro.
Diddy party.
I lost
myself at a Diddy
All right, I'm trying to stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lost myself at a Diddy party. Damn. Does that sound AI, Jake?
It does, but so that's the thing. Like, This is
You don't know. Yeah,
this
it's
is
tough.
the song
yeah.
that's going around all these reels. It's one of these popular songs or whatever. But like,
I mean, that's really crazy if he put that out because unless that's crazy if he did put it out. That for sure. For sure.
I don't think anybody has seen like the full song. Like I'm looking.
I don't think you put songs out in that much detail about your abuse.
No.
So
No, but what's what I'm saying? I don't. People are saying that it's the new song, it's the new song, it's the new song, but there's not like he hasn't released a full song yet.
but even that background, even the hook to it sounds
Yep.
like a song I already know.
Oh yeah,
It definitely sounds like a song I've heard before
yeah.
somewhere.
So
But if that is actually a song he's
Mhm.
releasing, but also too, I played it on Sevon's podcast, one of the original Diddy songs where he kind of told on himself, same as R. Kelly. When R. Kelly told on himself in his own songs.
yeah, and there's a video too where
That's kind of
it's-
all I need. And did you see the video? Oh shoot, there's a video of Mike Tyson. They're on like Jimmy Kimmel or
Yeah, it moves his hand.
whatever,
Yep.
and Diddy tries to put his hand right next
Oh,
to.
I sent that one to you too. I think it's still
I
in
lost
there.
it somewhere,
Yeah.
but and Mike Tyson's like, nope.
Yeah,
And moves to the side and moves all the way.
and
Mike
like,
Tyson's like,
you
not
literally
today, bro.
see his hand. Like Tyson picks up his sleeve and moves his
It was
hand.
like, no,
and
not
Diddy like
today.
wasn't like moving it. Like, oh my bad.
Yeah,
It was like
he just stayed there.
and just was laughing.
So I don't know.
But
to me,
wasn't there an interview too that Usher said something along the lines like he can't sleep because of Diddy? Like he doesn't sleep well because of Diddy.
I saw that. I didn't know.
But again, too, it's
I did-
these
I-
clips that people are finding, and with all this AI and with all this
Yeah,
technology,
you really don't.
you don't
You
really
can't.
know. That's why it's when shit like this comes out.
But I'm just saying it would definitely would not surprise me. I remember when Diddy had his white parties out here in the Hamptons. It was like one of them was down the street from my grandmother's house.
Oh my gosh!
Like, and so I remember all this craziness. People, all my friends were excited to go. Like,
You're
actually,
like, no,
I
thanks.
called some of them to be like, hey, did you ever see anything? Because they were like bartenders
Oh
and
God!
security or whatever outside of it.
Mhm.
And they were like, no, I never saw anything. But I was curious. I did some research on it because I was like, if any of my friends ever heard anything, but they were just bartenders and servers or whatever. So
Yeah,
but yeah, so that's my take on the Diddy situation.
I guess we will
feel-
see.
I absolutely believe that it's totally possible and probably more probable than not. But if he didn't do it, dude, your fault for even setting yourself up to be in a situation like this. Because you definitely set yourself up to be in a situation like this.
Mhm.
No doubt, for sure.
Yep.
Jake, I have a question. Go
Go
for
ahead.
it, bro. Kenneth Tyson didn't play those games.
What's a white party?
What's
Jody
a,
Lynn.
Oh, what's a white party? Oh, so okay, so he would have these parties, these summer parties in the Hamptons, basically late 90s, early 2000s, and everybody it was white themed. Everybody had to be dressed in white. The room had to be white, all the decorations, all the trees and shit. It was all white themed.
Yeah.
So but yeah, he would call them the white parties, and like all the celebrities would descend on this one, whatever mansion he rented or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was crazy
Craziness.
for sure.
Craziness.
Why would Jake Chapman, why would one want to inject oneself to get a tan? Are we talking about what are we talking about? Are we talking about the dude that was trying to be black, identified as black? I saw that story vaguely. I have no idea. I just think there's a lot of mental illness going around. But melanotan. Oh, is that the stuff that Hillary keeps talking about? If I have no idea, dude, I don't know. Maybe is it better than actually going to a tanning salon, or better than getting the sun's rays and risking? I don't know. But
Can't say skin cancer, maybe.
I feel like injecting yourself with anything is
Not a good
I'm
idea.
still mad at myself for getting the 49ers. I got pressured into that shit. But yeah, so yeah. That was that part of the news. But yeah, no, I don't know why he looks good with a tan, but I've never seen Hiller without a tan. Has anybody ever seen Hiller without a tan? I have to go back through his videos to see if I've ever seen him without a tan. And then the last one for the news that I saw this week that was weird as shit, that just again proves to me why I'm so glad that I got red pilled. Shows your muscle. Oh yeah, like bodybuilders. Yeah. Well, they just don't they just do the
They do the spray
lotion
tan.
or
They
yeah,
do
the spray tan,
Yeah.
whatever. I mean,
Yeah, we have a friend that owns a tanning salon and she wants to spray tan.
they just go into that machine and they spray tan themselves.
It's like
They're
the handle or whatever. She wants to give me a spray tan. I'm like, I do not tan. I would look weird with a tan.
I mean, I don't think Hillary needs a tan to
Mm-mm.
look like that, but to each their own. Hey, if it works for him and it's safe, go for it.
Yeah.
Is that like a CA peptides thing? Is that where melanotan comes from? But yeah, the next one that the last one for the week that came out that was super weird that I say again makes me really glad I got red pilled was the next Benedict story that we got her autopsy results back. And the left wanted to completely politicize her death and say that the kids that she got into a fight with killed her because she was trans. And so, pass all the trans bills, let all the dudes play in women's sports and do all that crap. And it wasn't true. She had a history of mental illness and she overdosed on amphetamines and antidepressants. Which is super sad and big shocker. It came out that she was molested by her dad from the ages of 9 to 11. He went to jail. He got out in January. Nobody knows if she knew that he got out in January, but that's when all this happened. And then she ended up killing herself in February. And the left completely used that to be like, see, all Republicans are bad. All conservative values are bad. All whatever, kids are going to die if you don't do all this stuff. And it's like, big shocker that a girl gets molested when they're young and then wants to try to be or look like a dude so that she feels like she's not going to get molested again. Big fucking shocker.
Yeah.
But nobody wanted to look into that. No one wanted to look into her mental health. Everybody, the liberals,
or they wanted to say that her mental health was because she is trans and is in the wrong body and all of this type of stuff.
Yeah.
And take it that
and just use
way.
it, hey, we'll fix you by you being they, them, and then whatever, you'll be fine. Everything's going to be fine. We'll just transition you and then you'll never have to worry about anything of these things again.
Yeah.
Let's not get her therapy for the stuff that actually happened to her.
Right.
Or help her parents like figure out how to help her get through what just happened to her. No, we're just going to politicize the whole thing and it's an election cycle. So we'll use that pump up our agenda. And she's 16, dude. Like you're using a 16-year-old to help your political like narrative.
Yep.
That's gross, bro. Like you're gross.
They do it with kids all the time.
I know.
Younger and younger. And
it just
trauma responses are very individualized and we all have them in certain
girls
ways.
Are always gonna go that direction. They're always gonna go that direction. They're always gonna go to the safest thing is for me to put on a baseball cap and a sweatshirt and say my name is Mark. Like it just
can you get so having the knowledge and having the background of what actually happened and the trauma that she went through can bring a little bit of light into wanting to quote unquote transition from the identity that she had because of her trauma, because she's trying to get away from that. Doesn't mean that she needs to go full medical transition, not anything like that. But mentally, that's where the mental illness part comes in. She is experiencing trauma. And for her, the only way that she feels safest is to get away from that identity the best or the farthest that she can. So what does she do?
Of course.
She tries to turn herself and become somebody else.
And she can go online and find anybody and everybody to validate that.
Yeah.
And be like, yeah, that's the safest thing to do. Yeah, that's the best thing to do.
Yep.
Yeah, of course. Like, no, you don't need men. Men suck. All men are terrible. Blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
It's, you know what I mean? And if you go look, I'm not going to read it or pull it up because it's awful. But if you go actually read what happened to her, like that girl she was destroyed. So of course she's on antidepressants because nobody wants to actually talk to her. Nobody wants to actually, there's like a million journals and stories that she wrote about how she was feeling and what they found it afterwards.
Mhm.
Like you don't wonder why your perfectly healthy daughter all of a sudden now is taking this radical left-hand turn. And
Mhm.
I mean, okay, fine. It's hard being a parent. I get that. I understand
Yeah.
that. There's a, what about her mom? Articles mention anything about her mom trying to help her? They just say that her mom says that she was bullied a lot as a kid, or when she changed her name and became they them, that she was bullied a lot. She was picked on in school. I think her mom also went with the narrative of the fight that she got into at school caused her death.
Oh, she followed that narrative.
I think so, for a little while anyway. The last article I saw was just the actual medical examiners, that yeah, she had lacerations, she had bruises, of course she got into a fight, but
Mhm.
that wasn't the cause of her death.
Mhm.
She like overdosed a day or two later.
Mhm.
So it's, again, it goes back to that these parents who see their kids do this, they just want to jump on the bandwagon because they also want the attention that brings. You got a bunch of, bleeding heart liberals yelling, "Yay, you're so strong, you're such an ally," like blah blah blah. They want all that freaking attention too. And
Mhm.
it's
And for me as a mom, if Bub started to do something way left field,
I'd want to know why.
I'd want to know why.
For sure.
I'd want to ask questions. I would want to talk to people. I would want us all to go see therapists and give him the time. And that again is still my narrative to this day. I don't understand why you have to go from 0 to 100 instead of slowing down and asking more questions. Just ask more questions. It doesn't mean that I don't support you. It doesn't mean that I am not here with you. What it means is, let's just talk. Let's talk it out. Let's figure it out. Let's get to the root. Because when you get to the root, that's when the healing starts.
Yeah.
The only way out is through. You can't go underneath. You can't shove
Go
everything
around. Yeah,
down.
you
You
gotta
can't
go
go
through it.
around. You have to go through it. You have to face it. And that is also the thing that I don't know if I have the reel anymore, but it's this idea, and I've seen it from two different people. And I believe that they are both doctors in their field, psychologists, psychiatrists, counselors, or something like that. And the narrative is that the more you talk about your trauma, or talk about depression, or talk about your mental illness, the deeper you get and the more you stay.
Yeah.
So I think that from my journey that I went on, I obviously had to go through my shit. I had to face my shit. I had to talk about my shit. And I had to talk about it a lot. But
You do. It's not, you don't talk about it for a week and it's gone.
No. But also you start to make the choice of how much power is this going to have over my life? And when I started to realize that my thoughts are the power of my life, when you decide to release them and get through the bullshit to get onto the other side, how freeing it is.
Yeah.
How lighter it feels.
But it's hard.
It's
and
hard.
So nobody wants to do it. I
It's
don't
very
want to
hard.
lose this because I want to clarify this too. Liberal parents all about clout these days. Yes, that's half of them. The other half of them, they've been scared so much by like liberal politicians that if they don't do this, their kid's gonna die. Like their
Mhm.
kid's gonna kill themselves. It's gonna be horrible, and their kid's gonna die. So half, yes, are complete clout chasers,
Mhm.
and the other half are, hey, if I don't do this, like I've talked to a ton of my straight friends with kids and whatnot, and it's like they're trying to scare you. They're fear mongering you into this. Your kid's not going to commit suicide over this if it's handled correctly.
Mhm.
Well, too many times the solution is pills, not talking things out. For sure. I remember for a little while, one of my therapists said that I'd be better on Prozac. And
Mhm.
so I was like 15 years old taking Prozac, and then my grandmother realized I wasn't even myself anymore. And so that was the end of that.
Hmm.
So that was about a month and a half of my like, and she was just like, this is not even my kid playing basketball anymore, you know, doing her regular things with her regular energy and mindset. So that, and then I literally was in therapy, like for high school,
But
pretty
that
much.
and that's the thing. We want to believe that the people in positions to help, the therapists, are there age appropriately to help navigate through the years of treatment that children and adults and teenagers that experience trauma are going to be able to help them. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen this too. I heard some kids were calling congressmen threatening to kill themselves over proposed TikTok
Yes.
ban. Yeah, because they don't
Yes.
tell kids no. And they have these phones all the time and they can't live without their phones. You saw the teenager that beat the crap out of their teacher because she took the phone away.
the Switch.
Yeah.
I think it was Nintendo Switch. Yep.
It was some, and I mean, beat her.
Yeah, we talked about that the other day.
There's no
her.
way in
Beat
hell.
her.
Like it.
Like
No.
I think within an inch of her life, punched her
Yeah.
so hard in the back of the head over.
Yeah.
Yep.
These kids are addicted. It's just as addicting as anything else. Like these kids are addicted to this and their whole life revolves around what strangers tell them on the internet.
And also too, kids are physically,
Especially girls,
and
dude.
mentally depressed because they can't be on their phones.
Yeah.
I was busy.
I was
busy when I was younger. And I have to say that, you know, growing up with the beginning parts of the internet and wanting to be on AOL Instant Messenger and MySpace, and I was young and dumb and got into all these open chat rooms and wanting this constant desire, but that comes with validation. I wanted validation. I wanted attention and all this type of stuff. That honestly for me was very difficult to navigate when it was first coming out, and it wasn't as available as it is now.
Yeah, see, I didn't have it in my teenage years. There
Mm.
was the instant messenger came out when I was like 15 or 16, but I was already too busy to care.
Mhm.
I never did MySpace. I think I got on Facebook in 2009.
Mhm.
So I didn't grow up like that, and I
Yeah.
didn't care how many likes I had. I didn't even know if that was a thing and that could be a thing.
Now it's blown out
and
of
then now I
proportion.
just
Like,
don't. It's like whatever.
Mhm.
I'll turn my phone off for 2 days. I wasn't on Instagram for the last like couple days.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
but yeah, no, it's crazy. And yeah, we're just keeping track on it. And especially this, what is this now? Gay pop? What is this gay? Like now it's not pop, like pop music.
I don't know. JoJo
It's
Siwa
gay pop
is trying
music?
to create like a gay pop category, and everybody, gay or straight, is like,
This is amazing. And I'm like,
no,
oh, are
like
they pushing
us-
back?
like
Because I
us,
was
we're
like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
No, not only that, but like
Pop's always been gay.
gay pop has been around for a very long time.
Pop music has always been. Look, freaking New Kids on the Block were gay. Okay, that whole all those clothing, all the matchy, that shit's all gay. It freaking NSYNC, gay as hell.
Kenneth, she's all over because she is she's the hot take right now because of her
It's all
new music video that she's been doing. And I mean, it's everywhere. Every couple reels I see, it's her again, or it's her song. She's the hot topic right now. That's really what it is.
She's putting gay pop on the. Yeah, Menudo was gay too. Thank you. Yes, they absolutely. Ricky Martin is gay as shit. Like, what are you talking about? So but I guess it's new now. It's like bell-bottom jeans coming back or some shit.
Yeah,
but
it's another thing trying to be relevant. And there's honestly, someone put something up or whatever, that this song that she's singing that she claims is hers, she literally stole word for word from someone else.
oh, cool.
Literally word for word. And I'm like, welcome.
But
but
isn't
it's
it sad
her.
now? In order to be trendy, you have to put gay in front of it. Like if you want to be freaking trendy, you have to be part of the rain. That to me is sad as hell. So your sexuality is what makes you trendy. That's so dumb. I don't know. I never thought we'd get here. I never thought we'd be experiencing this, but
No, because now it's the cool thing to do. Yeah.
Being
that's-
gay is the trend now.
It's
Yeah.
cool now. It's cool now. Whereas, you played it the other day, conservative.
but still funny if you want to like disparage a straight dude, you call him gay. So it's like, is it trendy or is it a put down? I mean, I could care less. I call everything gay. I like if I see you in pink pants, I'm like, that's gay. I don't care. I use it however I want to use it, but it's just because they're trying to make it like politicized to me. Like, where's your avenue? What are you
Mhm.
going for here?
Mm-hmm.
But
But it's also the conversation of
is that considered cultural appropriation? Is being gay a culture?
I think they're trying to make it.
I don't know. I mean, unless you drive a Subaru and listen to like the Dixie Chicks, I guess that's gay.
No,
That's lesbian culture anyway.
No, I think the real culture is very much what that woman said. That's like, they fought for the generations.
We just
before
wanted to
us.
be normal.
We just wanted to be quiet. We just wanted to be left
We
alone.
really did just
We
want to be
just
normal.
Wanted
Now,
to be able to love each other and
now
not be scared to
everybody's
walk down
acting
the
a
street.
donkey. Like,
And now it's a trend. Everybody wants to be a part of LGBT. That's
Outback, yes, an Outback Subaru, baby. I'm that gay. No, actually,
no,
I'm,
you
I'm,
have a
r-
Jeep.
I'm Wrangler gay.
Yeah.
I'm butch lesbian gay.
Yeah, you have a Wrangler. So,
But yeah, so crazy times, crazy town banana.
but yeah,
pants.
she's
But JoJo,
she's
and also
trying to
too,
be
I don't
relevant.
like looking at a 16-year-old writhing around dry humping somebody on a beach either. Like, I don't want to see that as I'm going through my Instagram.
Well, that's I
I don't follow any of these. I don't even follow CrossFitters under the age of 20. Like, I refuse. I'm not gonna do it. So just because I don't know what's happening in this world right now, so I'm not going to follow them. Sometimes they
Mhm.
pop up on my Instagram. I do the Jeep wave, Kenneth, and I have like the Jeep hand wave actually on my
both hands
my side
on
mirrors.
the mirrors. Yeah,
So if I forget to do the wave, it's already up there.
everybody knows that she's
I'm
waving.
that
Yep.
gay.
It's
um,
so bad, Kenneth, that she does the Jeep wave because when we go for a walk,
Oh,
she waves
yeah.
at the Jeeps as she's walking.
I forget I'm not in a
and
Wrangler,
she's not
I
in her
just
Wrangler, and she's just like, and people are like, who is
damn
who is
blew me
waving at
up,
me?
babe.
Just-
Blew me up.
just
Yeah, I sure did.
You
I
did.
absolutely did do
you
that.
did. You
twice.
caught yourself though.
The
After
second
the second time, you
time,
were
yeah.
like, I'm not in
Like,
a
I'm
Jeep.
not in a Jeep.
I'm just walking.
Oh shoot. All right, guys.
And on
Thanks
that
for
note-
helping us practice and freestyle. Appreciate you as always.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Kenneth, my man.
Yep.
I know Jody was in here.
Cackling.
Okay, yeah, that's my
It's
life.
funny.
That's my reality.
It's very, very funny. So little catch up and
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate you all. And I'll catch you on the next go around. Oh, hopefully, just since you guys stayed with us, hopefully in the next couple weeks, I think we're gonna get Lauren Khalil. I think we have her like pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I think she said yes to.
It'll be good to get another woman's perspective.
So yeah, so I
I'm
think we're gonna
excited
do
for
that in a couple weeks. But
Yeah.
That's the plan for right now. Otherwise, we're just gonna keep rolling.
Yeah.
But thanks, guys. Jody Lynn, as always, thank
Kenneth,
you. If anyone sees
Crowbar.
Judy, please tell Judy I said hi. I'm gonna try to catch her on Instagram.
Yep.
But,
Thanks for hanging
all
out
right,
with us, guys.
guys. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Thanks, deuces.